This video is sponsored by Brilliant. Self-hosting and metrics go hand in hand. It's up to us to figure out why something went wrong, how something went wrong, and how to fix it, because we don't have a lot of vendor support and stuff like that, because most of the time we are using open source tools. Maybe we're interacting with the community, but when something goes wrong, it's up to us to figure out why it went wrong. Or maybe we're trying to benchmark improvements that we're adding to our self-hosting environment. How did, adding a certain service or a certain piece of hardware affect your self-hosting environment? So in this video, I'll be showing you how you can self-host a network speed test on your host machines, so you can see how well the upload, download, ping, and latency and all of that stuff is. So this is Speedtest Tracker. As you can see, it's just a simple dashboard that shows you your download, your upload speed, and your ping, and it shows you over a time period. Now, you might be asking, okay, why is this good? I can just go to something like Speedtest and run it. You can, but when it comes to self-hosting, we want to be able to see how our network has been performing over time, and then if I say I add a new router, I can see how much of a benefit that has done over time, not just for the first time I test it. So you can see here in the Speedtest Tracker, we have my download speed, and you can see this is over the last 24 hours, but we could go over the last week, and I can see that I have a pretty consistent download speed. Now if I come into my upload speed for the week, you can see my upload speed is actually a bit all over the place. And then my ping, how's my ping over the time? You can see that's pretty stable. And my jitter, you can see my upload jitter is actually quite high, and that might help explain why my upload seems like this. Now, you don't really get these metrics unless you're using a tool like this. And again, these are important when it comes to self-hosting, because you want to understand how your metrics are over time, how well your home lab is performing over time. It's the exact same of having something like this, which is my Grafana dashboard. I have a video, I'll link it somewhere or in the description, where you can see an overview of your machine. So this is a simple way where I can see, hey look, my Electron Cloud server looks like it's doing pretty good. I've got my Alzum server that also looks like it's doing pretty good. And then I've got my Techdox server, which is a Raspberry Pi, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. So having Speedtest Tracker is just another tool to add to your tool belt when it comes to self-hosting and helping to diagnose and just have that overview view of your home lab. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of all the features here. I'll then take you through the setup process of Speedtest Tracker so you can get it deployed for yourself. I have all the documentation in that as well, but let's just have a quick view of Speedtest Tracker. So you can see this is the dashboard. I was showing you this before. You can see the upload latency, download latency. It just gives you a good long-term view of your network. Now, if we come to results, you can see that these are just the tests that are run. And you can see that there's actually quite a few tests. There's actually 26 tests that have run. Now, when it comes to this, you can just run a speed test. So I could click here and I could just run one straight away. But another thing that you can do is that you can set up automatic times for this to run. And I'll show you this in a second. But let's just continue going through the side pane here. So you can see you can have multiple users. If you've got several people that you want to have access, you can see here, I'm just using the example account because this is still running in a sandbox environment. You can see that if you really wanted to, you could have an influx DB and then feed it to like your Grafana dashboard if you really wanted. So then you could have multiple speed test trackers set up for each host, and then you could send that information to this dashboard for that relevant host. And then you're just, condensing all of that information into one place. Notifications, there's a bunch of notifications you can set up. So you can set up that it will notify you every time a test is run. So you can see here, I'm getting those notifications. You can see here under Discord, I can send Discord notifications as well, and I'll show you those. This is my Discord channel. If you're not in it, a link is in the description if you're keen on joining. There's just a bunch of discussions that go on here, but for testing, I'm sending the notifications to my Techdox Discord channel. And you can see here, I think it runs every 3 hours. Yep, there you can go, so 6 and then 9. So, and you can see that I'm just getting those results. So it's saying here, look, the download and the upload speed for that time. So it's running every 3 hours. And the good thing is, again, it's sending those notifications to Discord. You don't have to set this up, but sometimes you might just like to see that notification come through. And you got other things as well, like mail, Telegram, and additional webhooks if you like. So where you want to send these notifications to, it's really, the world's your oyster in that regard. You've also got thresholds as well. So if you've got certain metric values that you want to make sure that don't go below or go above, then you can set them here, and then you can get alerts based off of those thresholds triggering. And then the bottom 3 links is their documentation, donate, and their GitHub. Now, when it comes to self-hosting, it's all just about learning, right? with our metrics, we're trying to understand them. How can we make them better? What tools can we use? And this is a good segue to today's sponsor, who is Brilliant. Now, Brilliant is where you learn by doing, right? And if you're like me, I need to be hands-on to learn anything. Now, with Brilliant, it's not just about programming. If you want to learn about maths, data analysis, AI, and like I mentioned before, programming, then they've got it all for you. Like I mentioned, Brilliant is just a hands-on way of learning. So at the moment, I am going through their Python course. I have been wanting to learn Python programming in depth for a while now, and them giving me the hands-on approach using courses created by people from MIT, Google, and teachers and professors and just people who are masters in their area. They are creating these courses and making them so much easier to get the understanding and grasp the concepts of these areas. The other great thing, you're not just doing like when it's with Python and programming, it's not like just hello world, okay, that was great. You're actually doing troubleshooting and problem solving, and that is the best way to learn, right? When you actually problem solve and understand how this works in a real world, that's how you really cement that knowledge. And another great way of cementing that knowledge is staying consistent, and that's how Brilliant will help you. It gives you those daily reminders, right? Like, hey, if you've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever, just open up your phone, answer a few things, and you're just staying consistent. So to try everything Brilliant has to offer for a full 30 days, you can visit brilliant.org/Techdox, which is above. You can see the link above my head, or there will be a link in the descriptions or in the comments where you can go there as well to grab 20% off an annual premium subscription. So thank you so much to Brilliant for sponsoring this video, and let me show you how you can get Speedtest Tracker deployed using Docker. So like most services that I cover on this channel, I will create a page in my Techdox docs page. A link will be in the description where I just give you the compose file that I used in this video. So you can pretty much get started by just copying and following the commands here or in this video. So before we get started, let me just quickly show you the Docker compose that will be running and kind of just how everything's working. So you can see here that we are just going to be creating a single service, nice and easy, which is called Speedtest Tracker. We're calling the container name Speedtest Tracker. Now we're using this image here, which is a Linux server Speedtest Tracker, and we're using the latest image. And you can see that we're running on 2 ports, so depending on how you would like to connect to it. So you've got port 80, which is just HTTP, and then you've got 443, which is HTTPS, right? So you can change these ports 8072 and 8472 to what you would like. I've made them obscure ports like that because a lot of the 8080 and whatnot are used in my home environment, so I've just made them those ports for the example. So we're also setting the user ID and the group ID for this, so our container has the correct permissions. And as you can see here, all the lines where needed will have a comment explaining what's happening. So you can see here that we're setting the user ID the service will run as, so just make sure that user ID 1000 and group ID 1000 exist on your machine. If you've pretty much set up like a fresh Ubuntu or whatever, and you haven't made any additional users, then your user will be 1000, so you shouldn't have to change that. You need to generate an app key. And the great thing about these, they're just a base 64 key, but the great thing here is if you just go to this link, the great thing that this site here does, especially if you're just wanting to do testing and whatnot, they generate app keys for you. So every time I refresh, you can see a new key's been generated. Now, if you don't trust the site providing you your app key, which is completely fine and completely fair, you can just generate one yourself. Quick Google, and if I remember, I'll leave a command in the description showing you how you can generate a base 64 key. But generally, if you just, you're doing testing and whatnot, then you can just refresh and grab one of these keys here. It's using a SQLite database, and you can see here that I have the speed test schedule here. And what this is just a cron schedule. So I'm telling it to run every 3 hours. Now, if you'd like to set up your own cron schedule, every 3 hours is too much or too less for you, just literally Google cron schedule calculator, right, on Google, and you just type in what you want and it will tell you what cron schedule to paste in here. Or just ask ChatGPT. Honestly, ChatGPT just it's so good. Your display time zone. So in the Speedtest Tracker, you can see that I have time here. If this time is wrong, it's because you have the wrong date time in your compose. So make sure this display time zone is your time zone. And it just needs 2 volumes, which is data and SSL keys, okay? So you just make these folders when you're deploying it. Again, everything's explained in the documentation, even the default login. But I'll show you deploying it now as well, just in case you need that additional information. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we've connected to my sandbox server and I am in the Docker directory. In this Docker directory, any container I have deployed with Compose and they have directories and stuff like that, I will have a folder dedicated for them in here. So let's go ahead and make a new folder for the speed test. So we're going to make a directory, and we'll just call the speed test, nice and easy, and we'll change directory into speed test. And we'll do an ls, and you can see we have a empty directory. So what we need to do first is make that Docker compose file. So let's just do that. Bam. And we'll go to my documentation, and we'll go grab that compose file. We'll copy that back in our terminal, and we'll paste that in. Now I've already talked about all of these values, so I'm not going to go over them again. But what we will do is make sure we grab that base64 key, and also make sure that your app URL is correct. So let's just quickly backspace this, and I'm going to use that site to grab the base64 key because it's just for testing, and we'll paste that in. Now again, grabbing an app key on like a production server that's just been provided by you by another website, you wouldn't do. You'll generate one yourself. But if you're just testing and wanting to deploy something quickly, there's no harm in that. And the keys on that site could be completely random, but I would always recommend to generate your own. So if the speed test, this is the URL that you will access your speed test on. Now, I have my local DNS set up with SSL keys. I'll have a link in the description, or maybe up top if I remember, on how I set all of this up. But that allows me to run my domain names internally. If you're just using an IP address, then put the IP address and the port here. But that's what I'm going to use here, which is just speedtest.techdox.nz. And everything else is fine. So the speed test schedule will run every 3 hours and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to save that. And I need to make that data and SSL keys directory before I deploy this. So we'll go make directory data, make directory SSL-keys, ls, and you can see we now have our 2 folders and a Docker compose there. So we can just bring this up now. So if I do a Docker compose up -d, there we go, that container is up, and let's go see if our service is up as well. So you can see that this has gone down, which makes sense because I actually removed it. If I hit refresh now, there we go. I've probably lost all of my metrics because I've fully recreated it. The default credentials is admin@example.com. That's also in the documentation. The default password is password. And there you can see we have no metrics anymore. I wiped everything, starting from fresh. But now if we really wanted to, we could run the speed test, and now this will get started. Now as one last point, you can also add this to your homepage. So here you can see my homepage, and you can see Speedtest Tracker right down here, and it will just constantly be updating you with your upload, download, and your ping every 3 hours, which has been mine runs. Now, I'm not going to show you how to get this all plugged into homepage because I have a dedicated video on homepage, and then once you're familiar with homepage, you would understand how you can add this to your homepage. And that's Speedtest Tracker, another great service to add to your home lab and to your homepage or wherever you want to run it, and send those metrics to, again, wherever you like to run them. Let me know how you're going to use Speedtest Tracker, and if you've integrated it into your Grafana dashboard, I'd love to see how you're doing that as well. That'd be awesome. Jump into the Discord, let's start a discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and thank you to Brilliant for sponsoring this video.